Let's welcome Dr. Sudipta Paul from ICAR, NRRI Cuttack, and he is talking on insights into paddy farmers' price safety net through micro-level field investigations. Please welcome, sir.
Good evening, everyone. So, I'm here to talk on insights into paddy farmers' price safety net through micro-level field investigations. And here, I'll take the example of minimum support price, the government policy of India. So, as we all know that MSP has been long serving as a very important price safety net policy, not only for rice, but also for other crops. At least 22 crops are covered under this price policy. But it has also provoked debates time and again. It says that price policies, particularly this minimum support price policy, has propelled crop specialization at the expense of crop diversification, and it has promoted rice and wheat at the cost of oilseeds and pulses. Secondly, it is often told that minimum support price policy has an indirect bearing on the environment in terms of, first of all, crop residue burning, and secondly, the depletion of groundwater level. Having said that, it cannot be overlooked or undermined that the fact that MSP has been instrumental in serving the smallholder farmers through the years. So that is why we take here the instance of MSP to state the importance of price policy to support particularly the smallholder farmers, and also we'll try to conclude on the sustainability of this price policy through our experiment. We had two objectives. First, to identify the factors of access to and availing MSP, and second one was to evaluate the impact of MSP on paddy cultivation at the micro level. So we conducted this study in 6 states of India: Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand and Bihar, and all these states are major paddy procuring states as far as the central pool for paddy procurement, the Kharif marketing season is concerned. So household level, secondary data, disaggregated level, at the disaggregated level were generated through personal interviews and household surveys using a pre-tested semi-structure interview schedule. And although we followed the randomized selection procedure, but our initial screening suggested that the control and the treatment, here by means of treatment we mean the farmers or the households who availed MSP, and by means of control we mean the farmers or households who did not or could not avail or did not decide to avail the benefits of MSP. So when we compared these two groups, we found that there are differences at least in 4 parameters, 4 baseline covariates, which prompted us to go for first setting up statistical equivalence between these two groups, because unless and until we establish statistical equivalence between the control and the treatment group, our conclusion will be misleading. So in physical or biological or other sorts of studies, uh, means getting or achieving such sorts of control is easier compared to such social studies. So that is why one of the prominent and most popularly used techniques, which is called the propensity score matching technique, which is proposed by Rosenbaum and Rubin. That technique we used to set up first the statistical equivalence between the MSP and non-MSP farmers as far as their baseline covariates are concerned. Then to reach the second objective, we use the analytical hierarchical procedure, and our results suggest that we found some interesting results. That is, we found that multiple sources of income, farmers who are having multiple sources of income are more likely to go for MSP or to go for disposing their paddy crop through MSP in the APMC market mandis. So why is it so? It may be due to the fact that multiple sources of income also increases the cosmopoliteness and multiple sources for information of the farmers. And as we know, that various other studies have also informed earlier that multiple sources of information has a direct correlation with availing MSP. We thought that it may not be individual. At the individual level, these decisions may not be taken. It may be at least a neighborhood or community based decisions. That is why we also went for focus group discussion followed by an AHP based analysis, and we found that convenience of disposal, lack of awareness about MSP, and dissatisfaction with the amount of MSP offered, these three factors are the topmost three important factors which determine whether a farmer will avail the benefits of MSP or not. So these findings are in concordance with the very famous Santa Kamar Committee report, which suggests that only 6% of the farmers in India can avail the benefits of MSP. And secondly, it also is in concordance with some earlier reports like Aditya et al. And some famous reports are there which also suggests that yes, farmers, only 1/4 of the total farmers in India are aware about something called MSP exists. Only 1/4. That means 25% of the farmers. And as far as paddy crop is concerned, for common grade paddy, farmers receive an MSP of rupees 2,183 a quintal, and for the grade A paddy they get 2,203 rupees. So you can also understand that whether this amount is sufficient as a support price. So our finding that dissatisfaction with the amount of MSP offered may be occupying one of the topmost three places. That is why. So coming to the impact of MSP, we find that as we selected 6 different parameters: average selling price, that is price realization, then average volume of marketed surplus, percent marketed surplus, acreage under paddy crop, and average rice yield and varietal diversity. And in terms of all these 6 parameters, compared to the non-MSP farmers, the MSP farmers had a better result. So, as for the first indicator, as you can see, that price realization, the MSP farmers get at least 545 rupees more than the non-MSP farmers. That is our estimate. And as far as the marketed surplus is concerned, 10% at least may be the marketed surplus for the MSP farmers compared to the non-MSP farmers. Similarly, for the other parameters also, you can see that there is a distinct impact of MSP on rice farming at the micro level. So how credible these estimates are? It is credible in the sense that we satisfied the criteria of what is called your statistical equivalence in between the MSP and non-MSP farmers, and it can be seen through these 3 figures. For example, if you see that before matching, there was a huge gap between the MSP and non-MSP farmers in terms of area, means acreage, but after matching the gap reduced a lot. So this way, for the other matching variables also we could establish this statistical equivalence, and this is clear from these 3 figures. So finally, to conclude, we must say that paddy cultivation at the micro level, MSP has a very positive impact. Although the benefits are not uniformly distributed across the states, only few states are getting, the surplus states mostly are getting better benefit from MSP. And finally, seeing the importance of paddy in a country like India, it must be said that significant amount of more care should be taken while declaring MSP in paddy. With that, I conclude. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Paul, for the wonderful presentation.